Our last guest is Vixen. She's a 3-year-old domestic shorthair, and Randy and I learned quite a bit about Vixen here in the last couple moments here. We learned that she can hold up her end of the conversation, she's a vocal cat, and she doesn't prefer carriers. So if you were someone that was interested in an adopter, you may want to try and find a top-load carrier. But who can really blame her? A lot of cats don't like to go into the enclosed space, the confined space. So she finally came out, and she's actually doing pretty good on Randy's lap. She's still looking around the room, exploring the new environment. Sometimes change can obviously be hard for cats. She's that classic brown tabby, and she does have the M mark in the middle of her forehead, so she's a beautiful cat. She weighs in at 13 pounds, about 9 ounces, so she's a little bit overweight. She could stand to lose a few pounds. And sometimes living at the shelter, cats can put on a little weight because we're housing them mainly in cages and they're not getting quite as much exercise. So often when they go into a new home and they can be more mobile and walk around, they usually will shed a few ounces, a little bit of weight, which can help with that. Also, a good feeding plan to reduce cats' weights can help as well. She was previously owned, and it looks like they decided to turn her in because she was not getting along with other cats in the house. Now, there is also a new note that recently they had just adopted new kittens. So it's really unfortunate that, you know, a person decided to take new kittens in who are cute and cuddly and want to play, and then the older cat that had been there for 2.5 years wasn't adapting quite fast enough, and they decided to turn her in. It looks like they owned her for 2.5 years, and I had said she's about 3, so they had gotten her when she was a young cat as well. And they did get her from our shelter, so she's another what we call return to shelter. Like I said with an earlier cat, it doesn't mean she can't cohabitate with other cats. It may just mean that you need to take your time and move slowly and allow them to maybe not live together for the first few weeks or the first month. And, you know, establishing a relationship between doors sometimes can be helpful to introduce cats. Taking a towel and rubbing it on one cat and giving it to the new cat so they can smell the new cat. At times, relationships with cats don't go well when you try and force the situation. That's typically when it can backfire, that they'll want to hiss at each other, or some cats will start to have litter box issues that they'll start eliminating outside the litter box. That's our show for this week. We featured 5 cats and 5 dogs that are available for adoption at the shelter, but of course there's many, many more. So if you didn't see something you're interested in adopting, it's always a wise choice to stop by the shelter and visit us.